we took the story last week when the State House of the National House of Assembly, both chambers spoke up concerning the insecurity challenges. And speaking, not just speaking up against the insecurity, but asking specifically for the service chiefs to be sacked. I want to start from there with you. Do you believe that that is the right solution? Do you think that they've indeed outlived their relevance? Do you share in the opinion that they are bereft of ideas, in that we've not seen any change or major improvement in the past few weeks? We've seen it deteriorating.
I always say that you cannot use law enforcement or security to kill poverty. Change the service chiefs 1 million times. If we don't address the growing number of hopelessness, if we don't address the growing number of unemployment, if we don't address the birth control, 75% of our population are youths. They say that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. So we need to address these things critically.
These insurgents and terrorists use our people because they do not have work, and so they are open to just be recruited. How come we're not making use of that same strategy these insurgents are using? We have so many people without jobs. Why don't we just take them and recruit them? I understand to recruit in like the Nigerian army and police, you need to have some form of education, but shouldn't we even start now, recruit them and educate them while on it, so they are not available to people who would use them for things like this?
Yes, fantastic observation. This is one of the things that we're meeting the service chiefs this week. And this is one of the takeaways that we're going to be discussing with them. You two go into the pool where they're recruiting. Recruit police, recruit community policing.
Yes.
Which is why I'm extremely happy with what's going on about the Amotekun. You know, all politics is local. All security too should be local.
Now, I know for sure that for you to employ people into these arms, especially the ones being created, there's also the issue of funding. Are there other avenues being created already for it? Because the last thing we need again is another long drawn out minimum wage issue, especially when the workforce increases in Nigeria. Are there ways, are there modalities in place to fix this?
Yes, there are no modalities, but we have to think out of the box. It is only in Nigeria that military hardware or infrastructure or recurrent issues are funded from the budgets. In most other countries, there are other sources in which you use to fund these things. At some point, we're toying with having an armed forces fund like the police have, you know, that would also ensure that other revenue generating agencies of government tap into a pool, and we use that to increase capacity and fund. There's that, so we're looking at it. And again, you know, the funding and revenue sources in Nigeria, it's not unlimited. You know, so funding challenges, but these are things that we should be able to surmount, because if there is no peace, there won't be investment, there won't be insecurity.
This thing since 2015.
No.
It was a problem the government was aware of before coming in.
Let me say something. For the first time, the Ninth Assembly has the armed forces as a legislative agenda. So we are already committed to ensuring that they get better funding and they get access to critical infrastructure they need.
How much of a solution is this regional help that we're now resorting to? And is it possible that eventually this is security restructuring at the end of the day if we don't do something about it?
That'll be our last question, so we'd like you
Thank you very much for that question, and it's a very apt question. I believe that the Amotekun type security arrangement should come and stay. And I said earlier that we imported every aspect of federal system of government except state police, community policing, and co. So I think it is something that would bridge the security gap immediately, because the employees of those outfits will be citizens or will be residents of that area. So that is the best way of intelligence, gathering it from the source before it blows up. Secondly, 250 armed forces, 400,000 policemen to police a people of 200 million naira. It is not just absurd, it is ludicrous.
As we run off and round off this segment, I want to ask, what should we expect from your committee and what you've called the service chief to come, you've called the president. What should we expect? What should Nigerians expect from you?
Exactly. So Nigerians have spoken passionately about insecurity. We hear them loud and clear, but we don't believe in shaving people's heads behind their backs. There may be some critical information that these guys have that is not in the public domain that they don't want to say it out. We want to listen to them, we want to hear them out. It is after we do that that we'll now make our strong commitment or communication to Mr. President on what to do or not what to do. But we do not take the security of lives and property in Nigeria for granted, and we are sure that on Wednesday we will do our possible best to ensure we extract as much commitment from them as well, that this thing would die down in the shortest possible time.